Did you know that the Philippines is the only country in Southeast Asia that's mostly Christian? In fact, over 80% of Filipinos identify as Roman Catholic, making it the most Catholic nation outside of Europe and the Americas. Now, if you look around Southeast Asia, you'll find a beautiful mix of religions. Buddhism in Thailand and Myanmar, Islam in Indonesia and Malaysia, Hinduism in Bali, and traditional beliefs in Vietnam and Laos. Each country has its own story, but there in the middle of the vast archipelago called the Philippines, you'll find something that stands out. So why are so many Filipinos Catholic? Well, it all began more than 500 years ago when the Spanish Empire reached these shores. The year was 1521 when Ferdinand Magellan, a Portuguese explorer sailing for the Spanish crown, arrived in the Philippines. He didn't just bring with him new trade routes, but also a new religion, Christianity. At that time, the islands were inhabited by various local tribes who had their own beliefs and practices. Some followed animism, which focuses on the spiritual connection with nature. Others had their own gods and goddesses. But when the Spanish arrived, they had a different message. As the Philippines became a part of the vast Spanish colonial empire, Catholicism became a powerful tool of control and cultural change. The friars, those men dedicated to religious life, played a huge role. They established schools and hospitals, but they also used their influence to convert the locals to Christianity. Over the next 3 centuries, as Spanish rule continued, the number of Catholics grew. The Spanish built grand churches and convents. They replaced many local beliefs with Christian teachings, and generations of Filipinos began to follow the path of Jesus Christ. But it wasn't just about religion. The Spanish presence brought significant changes to the social, political, and economic landscape of the Philippines. The Spanish language, customs, and traditions became part of everyday life. Many Filipinos adopted Spanish surnames. Local industries changed, and new ones like mining and agriculture developed under the control of the Spanish colonial system. And within this complex web of history, religion played a vital role. However, colonization was not a gentle process. It was marked by challenges, hardships, and sometimes abuse. Forced labor, high taxes, and restrictions on local customs created difficulties for the Filipino people. The Spanish colonial system was designed to benefit Spain, and the Philippines became a source of wealth and power for the empire. Despite these struggles, the Filipino people persevered. They adapted to the changes, resisted when they could, and found ways to maintain their cultural identity. And in the midst of these challenges, the Catholic faith became a source of strength and unity. More than 5 centuries later, the impact of this history is evident. Today, over 80% of Filipinos identify as Roman Catholic. Catholicism isn't just a religion in the Philippines. It's a way of life. Religious imagery is part of everyday life, from the images of saints in homes to the many churches that adorn the landscape. Religious festivals, or fiestas, are a big part of Filipino culture, each celebrating different saints and stories from the Bible. These festivals are known for their vibrant colors, music, dancing, and deep sense of community. Some may argue that the arrival of the Spanish colonization was a turning point for the Philippines, bringing about both great change and significant challenges. On one hand, the introduction of Catholicism shaped the religious landscape of the country, influencing values, traditions, and beliefs that continue to resonate today. On the other hand, colonization brought about political and economic changes that were often imposed and controlled by the Spanish Empire. It was a period marked by power dynamics that favored the colonizers and brought about significant shifts in the social structure and the way of life for the Filipino people. It's important to acknowledge the complexities of this history and understand that the Spanish colonization had profound effects that continue to shape the Philippines today. However, it's also essential to recognize the resilience and adaptability of the Filipino people. Despite the challenges they faced, Filipinos found ways to preserve their cultural identity and make it their own. They incorporated elements of the Spanish culture, including Catholicism, and blended them with their own traditions to create something uniquely Filipino. This fusion is evident in various aspects of Filipino life, from the language to the art, music, and cuisine. For example, Filipino cuisine has a rich blend of flavors and ingredients influenced by Spanish cooking techniques and local ingredients. This fusion resulted in dishes like adobo, a savory stew of chicken or pork cooked in vinegar, garlic, and soy sauce, or sinigang, a sour soup dish with tamarind broth and a variety of vegetables and meats. Another aspect where the Spanish influence is apparent is in the arts and architecture. Spanish colonial architecture can be seen in many buildings and churches throughout the Philippines, particularly in areas like Intramuros in Manila. These structures showcase a blend of European design and local materials, creating a unique architectural style. The Spanish also had a significant influence on music and literature in the Philippines. Spanish classical music and various literary genres like poetry and theater found their way into Filipino culture, leaving a lasting impact on the development of the arts in the country. What started as colonization turned into connection. Spain and the Philippines today share a bond that goes beyond their colonial past. Spain and the Philippines have strong ties today. The historical relationship continues to shape their bond. Spanish is still taught in many Filipino schools. Spanish language and literature are studied, and there are regular exchanges in education, culture, and even government. Countless Filipinos have also visited Spain for tourism, cultural immersion, or to connect with their Spanish heritage. Some have even settled in Spain, contributing to the Filipino community in Europe. While the Philippines is now independent, the legacy of Spanish colonization continues to be felt in many parts of society. Surnames are a good example of this. Spanish surnames were widely adopted during the colonial era, and many Filipinos today still bear Spanish last names. Language is another area where the influence of Spanish is evident. Despite the shift towards English and Filipino as dominant languages, Spanish vocabulary is still part of everyday conversations, especially in the areas outside Metro Manila. And Spanish phrases are often used casually in daily interactions. Architecture and churches are a testament to the durability of Spanish influence. The grand churches built during the colonial era stand as prominent landmarks in many cities and towns. They not only reflect the religious fervor of the time, but also the architectural brilliance of the Spanish colonial period. Festivals and traditions are also a reflection of the colonial past. Many Filipino festivals have roots in Spanish traditions and religious celebrations. For example, the Lenten season is a solemn period observed by Catholics worldwide, including in the Philippines. During this time, Filipinos participate in various religious activities and rituals commemorating the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. In a way, the Spanish colonization of the Philippines led to a unique blend of cultures that continues to shape the country today. The fusion of Spanish and Filipino elements in language, customs, architecture, and everyday life is a testament to the enduring impact of colonization. While the challenges and complexities of this history should be acknowledged, it's also important to appreciate how the Filipino people have embraced and adapted different influences to create a rich and vibrant culture. Today, the Philippines is a shining example of a country that has not only preserved its cultural heritage, but also thrived by embracing diversity. As you explore the bustling streets of Manila, the serene beaches of Boracay, or the majestic rice terraces of Banaue, you'll encounter a warm and welcoming people who proudly celebrate their unique blend of cultures. From the vibrant jeepney drivers to the talented weavers of the Cordillera region, each interaction will reveal the resilience, creativity, and hospitality that define the Filipino spirit. The Philippines is the only predominantly Catholic country in Asia. It's a testament to the country's unique journey through history. The arrival of the Spanish colonizers over 500 years ago brought profound changes to the religious, cultural, and societal landscape of the Philippines. Despite the challenges and complexities of this colonial past, the Filipino people have shown remarkable resilience and adaptability. They have embraced Catholicism as an integral part of their lives, incorporating its teachings and traditions into their daily routines and celebrations. Moreover, they have managed to preserve their cultural identity by blending Spanish influences with their own customs and beliefs, creating a unique Filipino culture. The strong bond between Spain and the Philippines today serves as a reminder of this shared history and the lasting impact of colonization. So if you ever have the chance to visit this beautiful archipelago, immerse yourself in its vibrant culture, sample its delicious cuisine, and most importantly, engage with the warm and resilient people who make the Philippines truly special. You can also show your support by subscribing and liking our videos. Thank you for watching.